When I was a kid, there was a card store on 5th Street, 5th and Nedrow, which was only a couple of blocks from where I lived. And for some reason, I had to go over to get some cards or something. And it was a religious card store. So I remember going to the store, and there was a picture, like an etching of Jesus the Good Shepherd. And for some reason, I always just remember that picture. It was kind of a nice picture, and maybe it was one of the first times where the image of Jesus as a good shepherd kind of stuck with me. Even people who don't know much about the Bible, and especially the Old Testament, and especially the Psalms, know Psalm 23, the Good Shepherd Psalm. And it's one of the most popular, probably the most popular psalm in the Old Testament. And that's the psalm for this past Sunday. So, the Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall lack. In green pastures, he makes me lie down. To still waters, he leads me. He restores my soul. He guides me along right paths for the sake of his name. Even though I walk in the valley of sorrow and the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff comfort me. Little break, change in thought, part 2 of the psalm. This is the part of the psalm many people don't know. You set a table before me in front of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Indeed, goodness and mercy will pursue me all the days of my life. I will dwell in the house of the Lord for endless days. So it's called the Good Shepherd Psalm, but there's really 2 images that are used in this psalm. The first is an image of God as a good shepherd, takes care of the sheep, leads them to running water, leads them to grass and meadows and fields where they can eat, and protects them from the wolves, although that's not mentioned here. The second image in this psalm compares God to a great host who sets this spectacular banquet table for his guests. So God is a good shepherd, and God is a great host in Psalm 23. And, it's this image, actually it's kind of, there's a darkness to this image. In ancient cultures, when an army defeated another army, one of the ways of shaming the people who were defeated was to bring them back into the capital or into the city of the country that was victorious. And the country would throw a spectacular feast for the warriors and for the generals and those in charge. And they would make the defeated soldiers and the captives who would become slaves watch this spectacular feast. And that's a little bit what's alluded to here. So the psalmist has been rescued. He's taken part in a spectacular feast, and his enemies are forced to watch him. God pours oil on his head, anoints them for this banquet, and it's just another beautiful image. So, again, reflect on this psalm throughout the day, and come back tomorrow. We're going to be taking a look at the second reading from Sunday's Mass.